DMV Hoop Session, highlighting the best high school basketball in the DMV. Powered by the Scholar Athlete Sports Network, SASN.TV. DMV Hoop Session presents the 2024 Capital Classic District versus Suburban All-Star game.
From the Entertainment Sports Arena in Congress Heights in DC, it is the District versus Suburban All-Star game, the prelim game for the 2024 Capital Classic, the 51st year of the game, a staple in DC, but the first time since 2018 that we'll see the District and Suburban All-Stars take on each other. Noah Schubert alongside Isaac Harris for SASN TV, bringing you all the action. And Isaac, it's the first time that this District Suburban All-Star game has been played in 6 years now. For the community, for these players, this is a big thing to add back into the mix.
Yes, and from when I was talking to Ricky in our prelim, talking in a pre-conversation a couple weeks before the game, he wanted to be more inclusive, and that's what the whole point of the whole Capital Classic is, the celebration of the DC area basketball. It's like the last big hurrah for these top seniors that are all met, and usually we have a lot of deep classes that come in our area. So it's also to give those guys that made all-met second team or that got honored, this is their way to get honored one last time in front of their whole communities and represent their school last time on the big stage before they go off to college.
Now obviously we know about the Capital Classic against the Capital and the United States All-Stars, and that game draws heads. They call it the game that started it all. You've seen names across. LeBron James has played in this game. Michael Jordan has played in this game. But then when you talk about the unsung part of this game, and there's a lot of history that goes back with this preliminary game, and it means a lot for this DC community because you have the District All-Stars, your public school standouts, and the Suburban All-Stars, your private school standouts. And a lot of these guys, they're not signing with these big D1 programs, but they're still very notable to the public scene and the private scene in DC, which is a very robust basketball scene in general.
No, and that's the whole beautiful part about this preliminary game. It gives those local guys that aren't nationally known, that aren't on those big AAU teams or don't play at those bigger high schools that are well known, that get the national spotlight, an opportunity to go further in and kind of give the fan base, local fan base, the casual fan, an opportunity to show what they're made of. They say, hey, maybe not in the main game, but we're just going to be this entertaining. And from talking to the players last night, they think they might have a better game. They're being a little cocky about it.
Well, this game, it's had some fireworks in the past. The last time this game was played, we had a buzzer beater to win it all, and so we'll see how this one unfolds. And the two teams are led by local coaches on the District All-Star side. It's Dwayne Shackelford from just down the street, Friendship Tech Prep, and on the other side, Byron Mouton from Lanham Christian. So again, keeping it local with the coaching staff as well.
Yeah, no, and both guys have very influential parts of DC. Coach Shackelford's a former player in this game, so he understands the whole honor of this game, especially representing the city and his school down the street. We wish we got to see some of his players in this game, but hey, it's awesome to see Friendship Tech Prep being represented, and Byron Mouton. We all know he's a legend, ACC legend, one of the best players in Maryland history, part of that Gary Williams family. It's beautiful to see that both these guys are coming together to try to, bring the spirit of the game back.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Dwayne Shackelford from the area, played at Anacostia High School, so we're keeping it local here in DC, and of course the preliminary game for the big show, which is the national, or the United States versus Capital All-Star game. And last year that game had some fireworks, and now we'll be able to see it this year with the preliminary game in the District versus Suburban All-Stars. And looking down the board, we have some good names for the District All-Stars, notably Tay Barber, the District and Region 6B Player of the Year, first team All-State selection, going to Harvard this year, also named first team All-Met by the Washington Post, and really shined at Potomac this season.
Yeah, Tay shined at Patriot.
Patriot.
Yeah, Patriot.
Pardon me.
Yeah. There's a lot of P last names in the PWC in Prince William County in Virginia. Tay is a very special prospect. He's one of the more decorated players in this game. He made first team All-Met, which is an honor, which historically it's usually in the main game for that. But the class is so deep that, hey, we had to get him in the game at least. And he's going to Harvard, another Ivy League commit. But talking to Tate last night at the media day and talking to him off the camera, this game means a lot to him because he's the first ever Patriot High School player in this game. since Patriot was built, and they're one of the younger schools in the DC area. So he feels like he has a lot of shoulders on his back. Coach Sherman Rivers gave him a lot of advice in telling him what the history of this game means and how it's going to propel him for college to prepare and give the Ivy League faithful, Harvard, everybody, a chance to really see what he's made of.
Now on the other side, you got someone staying home in Blake Harper, product of Gonzaga. He committed to Howard, and for head coach Kenneth Blakeney, that was a big deal, talking about local talent staying in the area. Said, quote, securing top-tier talent from DC remains a cornerstone of our program, and they pursued him vigorously, trying to keep the 6'5" point guard in DC and keep him home.
Yeah, and Blake, that's a special commitment. Howard is feeling a resurgence. I feel like it's a different world in the 90s. There's a resurgence of HBCU basketball, and Howard has always been a mecca. They've always had the brand, and for them to get local recruits to stay home, which is what a lot of the D2s, a lot of the local D1s and D2s are trying to get that trend. The guys that stay home, try to get that George Mason effect to make a deep run maybe in the tournament. It's special, and I really hope Blake is one of the few point guards that do stay home longer.
Well, the last time we saw this game played, it was at Catholic University of America. Now here we are in the pretty much brand new entertainment sports arena, home of the Go-Go, of the Mystics, and just seeing how this game has transcended within the area and how the fans are picking it up. It's just so special to see here.
Yeah, no, it is, and I'm excited. I played high school basketball in the area at Fairfax, and I tried to get into the last game. That's how old I am. I tried to be in the last game for the Suburban Allstars, but that class was deep as well. And I got hurt, so it's just like, injuries happen. So I wish I could be part of this, but I'm glad I'm part of it this way. And I know talking to the guys last night, it's a blessing to be part of this game.
Well, we're going to be introducing our starting lineups now, so we'll take it away to the court and be back for our play-by-play action. It's the Suburban and District All-Stars. We are back on SASN TV.
At the student choice at this time, Scotty Hubbard. Number 7 from Jackson Lee. Going to Gannon College, Lucas Sagasi. Number 14, going to Harvard. From Patriot High School, Tate Barber. Number 22, undecided at this time from St. Charles, Tahir Webster. Now introducing the Suburban All-Stars. Coached by University of Maryland legend Byron Luton. Number 0, from Gonzaga's High School, going to Howard University, Blake Harper. Number 1, from Carroll High School, undecided this time, Hassan Dorman. Number 2, from Clinton Grace, going to UMass Lowell, Chris Johnson. Number 5, from Rock Creek, going to West Liberty, Makai Chester. Number 12, from Flint Hill, going to Stony Brook, Quinn Gorman.
And time for tip-off here in the District Suburban All-Stars game. Starting lineups announced pre-game for the District All-Stars. Number 1, Tony Pope. Number 5, Scotty Hubbard. Number 7, Lucas Kazi. Number 14, Tate Barber. And number 22, Tahir Webster. On the other side for the Suburban All-Stars, Blake Harper, number 0. Number 1, Hassan Dorman. Number 2, Chris Johnson. Number 5, Makai Chester. And number 12, Quinn Gorman, rounding out the starting lineup. And almost immediately off rip, I'm noticing Quinn Gorman, 6'7", out of Flint Hill, 6'8", pardon me, will be in the center. Tahir Webster also on tip-off. Tip is 1, and it's down. And won by the Suburban All-Stars in blue, District All-Stars in orange. Early three-pointer on the way off the front of the rim. Rebound down to Tate Barber. Barber feeling the heat. Stops short, swings it across. Dorman takes the screen. Down low, nice entry pass, and the first points of the game are scored there by our District All-Stars.
Great play attack. I love what the strategy was that's going on with the District All-Stars. Just play and move the ball around.
Tahir Webster gets things going with a layup, 7:27 to go in the first quarter. Inbounds for Blake Harper. And they'll swing it around. Sarah Makai Chester to the corner. Inside Harper, pull up. Tries to go up with the left and no good. Webster with the rebound and eventually controlling it. Lucas Sakazi coming out of Jackson Reed. Hands it off to Hubbard. Deep three-pointer. Off iron, no good. Rebound to Tony Pope. Pope puts it back up and in. Tony Pope with the jumper.
Big time play. We got to fall back.
And the transition defense not back in time. Chris Johnson quickly gets behind for the first points for the private Suburban Allstars team.
What I was told last night, though, was that this game's going to be a fast-paced game. It's going to be fast-paced. Both teams are going to try to be high-octane offense. A lot of motion out of it, so nothing too casual about this game.
Sakazi is 3-2 strong, and now taking in Makai Chester. Suburban Allstars had numbers momentarily. Left-handed floater, and the putback is no good for Quinn Gorman. On the other way, it's a 3-on-1. Tay Barber in the corner, contested three-pointer, and into the hands of Hassan Dorman. Down the other way, and tried the alley-oop. Save attempt is eventually in the hands of Tony Pope. Pope, stutter step in the corner. Three-pointer on the way, off the top of the backboard. Scotty Hubbard with the miss. Down low again. Hubbard makes it up and gets a lay-in.
A little sloppy there in the middle of that, but I'm glad that both teams kind of recovered and try to get some discipline in with the way they're playing right now.
Johnson trying to do it himself and thought he got fouled, just kind of lost it in midair. And Makai Chester taking it up. Tony Pope from the elbow, and it's good. And it's been all District All-Stars to start, up 6-4.
I feel like the whole notion for the District Allstars is saying, hey, let's show up these private school guys. That's the message I'm getting.
And on the other way, foul will be called on the floor. I believe it was called against Tony Pope. So on the other end, they'll work it around. Chris Johnson sizing up his defender to the corner. Three-pointer on the way. Off the side of the backboard. And Scotty Hubbard will take it down the floor for the District All-Stars. Pope, entry pass down low, Webster, backing up Johnson. Webster, turn around strong, and he's fouled by Johnson. He'll go to the line for two.
That's a strong move. I love the district strategy right now. I mean, they're moving the ball pretty fluid. I mean, they had a couple little spurts there, and the Suburban Allstars, they're trying to get it together, but I love how they're actually trying to do with the message what I was told yesterday and throughout the week. Hey, we're not playing casual for this game. This game is everything. It's bragging rights for who's got better, public or private.
Here Webster, the 6'6" power forward out of St. Charles. And goes 2 for 2 from the line. So Webster tacks on 2 more. He's got a game-high 4. Taking it quick the other way. Lay-in, bounces in for Chris Johnson.
Great layup by Chris. Love to see it.
So it's a 10-6 affair. 4:42 to play. Top of the key. Tony Pope dancing around, three-pointer. Cash it in. Tony Pope makes the first 3 of the game. On the way again, the answer no good. Skying in rebound. That's going to be over the back against Blake Harper. That'll be his first. So 1 foul piece on both sides. Sakazi takes it across half court, driving with the left. That taped up left hand. Still favoring it though. Hesitation jumper. And that was some nice defense by Chris Johnson getting outside and stopping Scotty Hubbard on the other way, 3-pointer. Rebound. And put back up short, and there for cleanup duty is Makai Chester.
That's all the Suburban Allstars really need to do. They just need to get a little good rhythm to try to just compete right now. But the District Allstars, they're ready to go.
Tay Barber on the ISO, takes the high screen, keeps it himself with the right. Swing out to the corner, 3-pointers. Hubbard, good! From the corner. District All-Stars jumping out to a large lead, 16-6. 3:35 to go in the first quarter. as we get a plethora of players at the scorer's table waiting to check in. Sakazi playing this game, and I believe those are Yeezy 500s. And he makes his way to the rim, and one for Lucas Sakazi.
Hard bucket with a good, fresh corner swag. Like, I love that play. I love that play. I love that play. I love it.
And we get a full lineup change for the Suburban Allstars, and once Sakazi shoots his free throws, we'll get it for the District. Before Suburban, we'll go down the line. It's number 10, Jackson Furman, number 11, Makai Johnson, along with number 13, Duda Traore, and number 15, Jaden Harris, number 22, Gop Cody. And for the District All-Stars, we get number 2, Elwin Wardlaw, number 3, Dante Mayo, and number 5, Scotty Hubbard, still on the floor. Three-pointer on the way, off the front iron, and rebound fought for and ended up corralled by the District All-Stars. Nehemiah Johnson grabbing it. Baseline. And lost in translation on the other way. It's Jaden Harris. Harris, look out below, it's no good. We've been seeing him try to put up the alley-oops.
Trying. But guys, I think right now, just based off the score, just get to the basket. No need for the alley-oop.
Working it around, it's still with the Suburban All-Stars. Three-pointer from Jackson Furman, too strong. Send it back, deep three, count it! Dante Mayo showing off the range.
Dante Mayo, great shot. Oh, got to recover though.
And on the other end, there's the answer from Makai Johnson.
You got to recover. Just because you scored, you got to get back.
Hesitation. Get it back down to Mayo. His three-pointer. Got Cody there for the board. Quick to the other side. They're giving up the corner threes like it's candy. Suburban All-Stars cannot capitalize. District All-Stars have hit 3 threes of their own. And now the foul is called. And that'll send Dauda Traore to the line. Foul on Nehemiah Jackson. And Traore misses the first. Holds a handful of offers. IUPUI, Eastern Kentucky. For the 6'5" power forward out of Clinton Grace. And drains the second. It's his first point.
He looks like a mid-major guy. Based off that, he can fit in those conferences based off the length and everything, the way he's shown that athleticism, 100%.
Elwin Wardlaw, fancy footwork, gets it down low. Nice pass and the block from behind. Cody with the rejection. And Gop Cody taking his talents to Loyola, and they're very excited to have him there. And it leads to some points for the Suburban All-Stars. Traore getting his hands dirty again.
Cody is got a new coach that's probably excited to have a big like that that's very versatile.
And Diggs with some jelly action. Makai Johnson and a three-pointer. We're going back and forth. Scotty Hubbard hits his second three. It's hard to keep up with this game. Furman inside, bounces around, put back is good. Traore with 5 points now, and now we're getting the back and forth action, but the District All-Stars still with a 9-point lead, 25-16, and make it 27 as Elwin Wardlaw hits his first shot of the game. Harris, kick out, three on the way. Put back again, Gop Cody skying above everybody else.
I love how the second unit for both teams are starting to pick up the pace and trying to set the tone early. Say, hey, we are here to play one of the most prestigious games right now.
Wardlaw has Cody out on an island, trying to take advantage of the mismatch, and Cody gets it from behind. On the other way, Suburban All-Stars, and rims in and out, but the foul from behind on Makai Chester. put Toyota Troy back on the line.
This second unit's done pretty well here for the line, 13.
Not the greatest foul at that time of the game, you know. Not the best foul to make.
Oh, Traore is looking for a highlight. Trying to yam it down in transition.
Right, and you can't look for the highlight for the, for the Instagram, for the cloud. I think the highlight is the win. I'm more like, so I love how the second unit is starting to like just pick up that pace, because the first unit, although they were playing hard, they were trying to get the highlight to try to get that momentum, and I don't think that's the best way to get that momentum in.
Traore with 6 points. 5 seconds to go in the first quarter. Wardlaw driving inside, and he challenges at the rim Mekhi Johnson and wins the battle there. Scores right before the buzzer, and he's got 7. Elwin Wardlaw with 4 points and closed out the quarter. And the District All-Stars, they jumped out to a massive lead, still holding it at 10. It's a 29-19 affair, and up and down the board. I mean, Scotty Hubbard, he's got 8 points. He's made 2 threes and really been the catalyst for the District All-Stars in this first quarter.
Yeah, Scotty's been setting the tone just by his play, and everyone's been kind of just contagious about that. It's like as soon as he started getting on a run, everyone started just falling into place. Like, okay, that's how we're gonna play it, but that's how we're gonna roll through it.
Scotty Hubbard, I mean, he's gotten some Division I looks, Coastal Carolina, Albany, Rhode Island, TCU, and Virginia Tech all knocking on his door. Has yet to commit yet. But on the other side, Gop Cody, he's got a couple big blocks. He's really setting the tone for the Suburban All-Stars, the Georgetown prep product that we've been watching since the 2023 Capital Hoop Summer League. We've been keeping our eyes on him, and he's been really shining, and obviously got that college commitment under his belt now.
Yeah, no, and that's what we see that, and they're starting to show what their strengths and what they're going to add to what they're going to show to their colleges. This is a great opportunity to show that.
So in between quarters now, it's 29-19. The District All-Stars in the lead by 10. And I think we're returning to a similar lineup as we did from the start, at least on the end of the District All-Stars. We've got Lucas Akazi and Tay Barber back on the floor. Elwin Wardlaw with ball control. Tahir Webster is there, as well as Tony Pope. Pope, step back, three-pointer. And to the side, rebound to Jake Tringoni. Nathaniel Pondexter, new in for the Suburban All-Stars. And they're going to say Hassan Dorman stepped out of bounds. Quinn Gorman also back on the floor.
Okay. What am I doing at halftime?
And as well as Mekhi Chester. Wardlaw. Barber for 3. And too strong, chasing it down and securing it before it goes out of bounds. Pondexter. And flips it to Mekhi Chester. Chester with the right. Trying to drive strong, instead kicks it out. With the left.
Pass.
Three-pointer on the way. In and out. Rebound to Tony Pope. On the other side, Takazi makes his way through. And he's going to get called for the travel.
Yeah, I love this better start for that. Suburban Allstars are finally starting to show some offensive scheme here, a little better offensive scheme to start this quarter off, to try to get back, to try to cut that deficit.
Mekhi Chester right down an ISO with Tay Barber. Screen set, Dragoni rolls to the basket. He's really working down in the paint. Gets it. He'll drive in and swing it all the way around. Another three-pointer. That one is drilled. Mekhi Chester.
That one was as far as going to Wheeling. From DC to Wheeling, so.
Down to a 7-point game, 29-22. Barber, he's going to be fouled on the floor. Tringoni tripped him up. Wardlaw will inbound. Gets it immediately inside. And a battle of the bigs down low. Webster loses the battle to Quinn Gorman. Other end, Mekhi Chester trying to go coast to coast. Swatted hat by Tahir Webster.
You know, a lot of guys are trying to get big blocks. After Cody was getting a couple blocks, said, "Oh, that's what he's doing." So, love to see that. Love to see that kind of action, that good defensive play.
Let's not forget that Gop Cody's 6'10".
Yeah, there's that too. I mean, you can always imitation is always flattering. It's a flattering option. So we like that as well.
Second free throw on the way for Makai Chester, and he goes 0 for 2. I don't think he hit the rim on either of them. But it's hard to adjust to the sightlines in this game, playing in a big arena versus playing in a small gym.
Right. And a lot of these guys never really had that opportunity to play in a big arena like this or at a college arena. The entertainment sports arena is built for the Mystics and, college level games and and a lot of other professional sports. So definitely different especially when you don't have your first practice here. Definitely interesting.
I mean, I know Tay Barber had some experience playing at VCU for the 6A championship game, but three-pointer on the way for Barber, and the man of the hour gets it to go.
Of course. And a couple of the Maryland guys have had experience playing in College Park at the Xfinity Center. And D.C., they've had some experience at the Smith Center in George Washington. It's interesting because becoming this is such a neutral zone. And the only home team is definitely the Mystics and the Capital City Go-Go.
So a late whistle on Elwin Wardlaw puts Hassan Dorman on the line. A second team all WCAC nod this season.
Okay.
Currently at Archbishop Carroll, just finished his career at Archbishop Carroll, but also had some stops at Mount Zion and New Hope Academy. So made his way around the block a little bit.
Yeah, he did. We like that. So that's something that I like a lot too. So.
The second free throw is good. It's a 32-23 game. District All-Stars still in the lead. It's going to take a lot for the Suburban All-Stars to come back from that early deficit, and it won't help. Elwin Wardlaw drives in and gets another basket. He's got 6 points.
Got to get easy baskets right now to try to cut this deficit if I'm the Suburban team. That's like one of the keys that you got to see. So, because District, obviously, they're gonna be playing fast and just making those quick passes and quick moves.
As Dorman left the three-pointer short. Entry pass. And they're going to get a travel against Tahir Webster. Chester bringing it up across half court. Chester with the left. Runner. And to the left, no. And I think the jump ball call, and we'll get a timeout. Suburban All-Stars want to talk it over. They're down by 9, 34-23. And Isaac, as we've been seeing the game trends as they've been going on, what is it about the District All-Stars that they're doing that much better than the Suburban team?
I think the District All-Stars are just playing together more. They're not looking for the highlight. The way they're playing their offense and the way they're doing, just their ball movement is showing, hey, we're going to try to win this together as a team. Everyone's going to get their piece. And I'm not saying that the Suburban All-Stars is playing selfish. It's the Suburban All-Stars are looking at the wrong looks to try to get that momentum and get that rhythm going. While the District All-Stars is no, we're just going to run and gun, pass, and you better be ready. Just hands ready all times, everybody.
Yeah, definitely playing a lot faster, District All-Stars, and the Suburban All-Stars have been playing catch-up for pretty much this entire game. As we've been saying, the District All-Stars, they jumped out to get good.
Yeah, that's a big boy, older move, and that's a move that he's going to have to get used to doing that in the Mountain East. I don't know if he's going to get it all the time because there's a lot of good bigs that get in there, but it's a good move.
To the corner. Sakazi, baseline. Turn around, kicks it back out. Three-pointer off the front, no. And Chester take it with some speed, gets it inside. It's a nice pass, and Barber, I think, got a piece of that. Gorman, he's fouled and one on the second putback attempt.
Big hustle right there for Gorman. And I hope to see more of that as the second half comes in and how they finish this quarter, because he's a big body that's going to play in the CAA. And we want to see that kind of grittiness come to the CAA, because the CAA has historically been known that obviously the CAA has evolved in the last 15 years, 20 years, but the CA is still known for that type of play, so hopefully he can use that big body and try to just get going with it.
Yeah, Gorman's off to Stony Brook for his collegiate career, and he hits the free throw. The Flint Hill product cuts it down to a 6-point game and a much more manageable deficit for the Suburban Allstars.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to see. It's going to be competitive, so just keep making those easy shots. Don't make the hard plays.
Sakazi's pass. Johnson had to recover to get it. Johnson inside, and he's given a wide open lane. A breakdown on defense for the Suburban Allstars.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I love this. I love how we're going at cutting this deficit down just a little bit, inch by inch.
Gorman swings it out to Dorman. He'll take his time. And Dorman, the hezzy, and he gets the favorable bounce off the front of the rim.
Mr. Hassan Dorfin might get an extra offer if he's making plays like that today.
Currently has Hampton and Morgan State as his offers. Thomas Farrell looking for someone to give it to. Sakazi loses it. It bounced off the official and stays in. Sakazi, no room to work. Fantastic one-on-one defense from Tony Pope and forces the turnover.
Ooh, good defense.
Pope on the other end, stops, swings it inside. Strigoni down low, and he gets it in. It's a 4-point game.
And that's the type of plays that change the outcomes of games and change what game looks like. So I love to see that hustle now.
Hubbard recovers, backs out and for a 3 off the heel, tracking it down, rebound. It's back with the District Allstars, another 3-pointer. And board to Nathaniel Pondexter. And a no-look pass intercepted down low by Nehemiah Johnson. Trying to get a little bit too cute, and Johnson is taking it the distance. Farrell for 3. Rims out. Deep outlet. And easy. No! Chester doesn't get it.
Oh no, Mr. Chester, we can't do that.
That was a gimme as Sakazi is fouled on the floor. And I think it's an intentional foul just to get a stop and play so the Suburban Allstars can get their subs in.
No sub at this time.
Oh, yeah, no, and I think that's one of the things I talked about. I had to talk to the United States coach, and I got to talk to Coach Mouton as well, and several of the other coaches that are here. They said the minutes is going to be kind of interesting with everybody here because everyone's got to get as many minutes as possible to enjoy this moment.
District Allstars trying to get a 3 off. I think that one was blocked just a little bit. I think Jackson Furman got a piece of that. Other way, 3 from the corner. Good! Blake Harper, it's a 1-point game.
Big shot by Blake Harper, the Howard Bison. Love to see it.
Farrell on the other end. District Allstars now with a little less comfort room than they had before. Hubbard trying to take it with the right, switches, and poked out of bounds. It'll stay with the District Allstars. 11 on the shot clock. Chris Johnson with the defense.
Basketball is a game of stops and runs, so hopefully one of these teams can figure out to get a stop and a run and try to go into the half a little stronger.
So Farrell gets it into Sakazi. 1:30 to go in the half. Sakazi crosses over, takes the screen. Cody switches over, 1 second, and a shot clock violation. Great defensive set there from the Suburban Allstars.
Yeah, no, and like I said, it's about a game getting it a stop and a run. Now from here, we got to go rock with how you're going to try to translate that over to the second half. Sorry that sounded a little choppy, but it's a little simpler than it sounds like.
So the Suburban Allstars, all of a sudden, only down by 1, and it's really been the transition defense is where they've been lacking, but once they're set, the District Allstars have been finding it hard to get anywhere. As Johnson weaves his way through, off glass, and they cannot take the lead. Nehemiah Johnson, he's very comfortable with the ball in his hands. Farrell for 3, and this one sinks in. Thomas Farrell extends the lead back up to 4.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what happens further going into this.
Nice crossover for Jaden Harris. Swing out, and Sakazi pokes it away. Catches up to it, but cannot stay in bounds.
Good hustle play.
So the hustle is there for Lucas Sakazi, noted by the PA announcer.
Oh yeah, very noted. Yes. Luckily, no one was hurt in that hustle.
Gearing towards 30 seconds. No look swing out. Harper pull up over Sakazi, and it's silky smooth in for Blake Harper. He's got 5 points.
Great shot for Blake Harper, and shout out to Jaden Harris, my unofficial cousin. I'm gonna give him that, my play cousin. Getting that good pass from Northern Virginia for John Paul. Love to see it. He's playing very shifty like I expected from a guy from John Paul. Great.
5 seconds on the clock. 3-pointer in and out. 2 seconds. Will we try half-court heave? We will. And it's off the backboard and rim and no good for Jackson Furman. And that'll do it for the first half. It was a much less close first quarter, but now only a 2-point game. District Allstars 39, Suburban Allstars 37, and we really saw in the second quarter how the Suburban Allstars kept it close.
Yep, and we're going to transition right now to a courtside interview with our other correspondent, David Korn, with Coach Mouton.
David Korn here from SASN TV, joined by Coach Mountain from the Suburban Allstars. Coach, you had an early first quarter deficit. How were you able to come back?
Oh, we just got to pick up the defense, man. Our defense was a little sluggish on defense, man. Had to get in their face a little bit. You know, it's an all-star game. You want to play, man. But I'm all about winning. You got to play D, man. It was just a little too slow on defense.
Yeah, and so how were you able to sort of get that defense back in the second quarter?
Start subbing. Just start subbing. Guys was ready off the bench, man. And actually the second guys came in that made the difference. And we was up by 3, but now we're only down by 2. So it was a 12-point game at one point.
Yeah, and what are the halftime adjustments going to be in the locker room?
Just a couple times we double team. You don't need to double team. I think you double team and give a guy. These guys can play, man. So if you double team, the guy's gonna slip it and cut to the basket. So we gotta eliminate the double team, stay focused, lock up on our defense, and we should win this game.
All right, appreciate the time, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Byron Mouton joining us at halftime, head coach of the District Allstars. They lead 39-37, of the Suburban Allstars. For the District Allstars, Dwayne Shackelford, his team up by as much as 12, and then Byron Mouton's squad working their way back, hustling, and working on defense to get their way through. And we saw from the Suburban Allstars, Scott Cody had a couple of big blocks there, and they were really setting the tone underneath the basket.
Yeah, no, and I think that's something that we just noticed, and I think he noticed that too, that the guys kind of came a little flat. And maybe that's not something you can just control just with you know how hard they played. It's not like they were playing lazy. It's just they came out flat, and they tried to get the easy shots first to try to get them going. And I'm like, no, at that point you got to go hard. And that's what the district team did. Now, however, I think it wasn't sustainable because they lost a lot of energy. But I think they can pick it back up. They needed a lot of water break almost.
Yeah, just a little bit, and we saw that the adjustments being made in the first quarter, after the first quarter, made a difference. We saw Blake Harper kind of set the tone at the end of the second quarter. 5 points there, including a nice 3 to pull the game a little closer for the Suburban Allstars, but it's very evenly distributed down the board, at least on the side of the District Allstars. Owen Wardlaw, 6 points, Tony Pope with 5, Scotty Hubbard with 8. He has 2 threes in this game, so the offense was clicking for the District Allstars, but the defense for the Suburban Allstars beginning to counteract a little bit, and I think the Suburban Allstars also able to pick up the pace. Makai Johnson with a 3-pointer, Harper with the 3, Makai Chester hitting the 3-pointer. So just up and down the board, everybody kind of figuring themselves out more.
Yeah, because, last night was the first practice for all of them. So they only had one practice in here. It's like almost being on basketball camp. It's just trying to transition back into this, trying to learn how to play with each other. And usually I know you think like at the McDonald's All-American game and any other All-Star games, you get like a little more time. But for the Suburban All-Stars, you get one day, unless you already play against each other at AAU. You know, you got to adjust on the fly, adjust pretty quickly. And that's like almost pro-style basketball, adjust pretty quickly to who you got. Now, I will say this. We talked about it. You mentioned it on the during the game, during the first half. That transition defense for both teams at some point is shaky. So it's something that, I would love to see an improvement on going into the second half. And just we'll see how that rolls.
Well, we got a minute and 20 seconds to go until we begin the second half. It's a very quick game. We didn't see a lot of fouls. I think both teams had maybe 2 or 3 combined fouls in each quarter. We saw a few free throw trips, but not that many.
got to go quick.
And I think we're going to have a word on the floor with District All-Stars head coach Dwayne Shackelford.
David Cord of SASN TV, joined by District All-Star head coach Shackelford. You guys got out to an early lead in the first quarter. What happened in the second quarter?
I just thought the guys' energy went down a little bit. They started out pretty strong. Hopefully they can maintain the lead and keep going the second half. They can get the energy back up.
What was the halftime message?
Have some fun, go out there, compete, and don't lose the lead.
There we go. I appreciate the time, Coach. Thank you.
Just have fun. And I think that the District All-Stars were having some fun, and then the Suburban All-Stars came and kind of soiled their moment just a little bit. And we saw, I think, with the Suburban All-Stars, they became a little more conservative with their approach as well. We saw them trying to throw up some oops, some high-flying dunks, and then they slowed it down a little bit, and Bauer Mouton was like, all right, let's just play some basketball here.
Right. And there's a sentiment to, I feel like people take the message like just to play to have some fun, not take it serious. Or I'm assuming Coach Shackelford, the way he coaches, just play and have some fun, meaning, hey, don't stress, relax, but also just do what you know, play to your strengths. So that's what I'm assuming with as Coach Shackelford coaches in this area. I'm assuming that's his signal saying to have some fun and compete, saying, hey, relax, don't do too much, do what you got to do to get the win.
Well, we're about ready to start the second half here on SASN TV. Noah Schubert and Isaac Harris bringing you all the action. It's the first time that we've seen the District Suburban All-Stars take on each other in 6 years. We are happy to see how this game has progressed.
I know with Dennis Scott, it's not going to be an issue.
Yes.
It'll be Lucas Sakazi guarding the inbounds. And Makai Johnson on the floor for the Suburban All-Stars, along with Jackson Furman and Nathaniel Pondexter, Jake Tringoni, and Duda Traore. For the District All-Stars, looks like the same starting lineup as we get an early block. And there, we have a tied game, Jackson Furman.
Love that good start by the Suburban All-Stars. Hopefully they can contain it.
Barber pulls up. Swing around. Hesitation, Pope. And rebound to Makai Johnson. Swings it up to Tringoni.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Nice passing from the Suburban All-Stars, and they are taking their first lead of the game. Nathaniel Pondexter with the layup.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of halftime adjustments, people trying to get back and readjust and see how this game's going to go.
Drive inside, and we're tied up again. Tony Pope, and we're going back and forth now.
Yeah, no, and that's what we want to see. I think that's what the crowd wants to see, too, is a back-and-forth game.
Tony Pope now with 7. Lucas Sakazi taking it down the floor on the miss. Kicks it out to Pope in the corner. Leaves it short. And we're going to get a foul underneath the basket. It's going to be against Tate Barber.
Not a lot of foul trouble tonight, though, if you noticed. I mean, with this game, with the All-Star game, you would think, it'd be a little bit of fouls, but it's been pretty called, it's been pretty efficient on both guys, on both teams. And shout out to the players playing, poised.
Well, you would think that there might be a little less of a conservative outlook because it's an all-star game. You can just kind of throw it out there as your last high school game. As Sakazi intercepts it, swings it, and Barber finally controls. Thought about a 3, but nice closeout from Pondexter. Webster pulls up, in and out. Pondexter with the board. Other way, Tringoni puts it up. And Sakazi there to snatch it out of the air again, trying the alley-oops. And Barber with the easy lay-in kind of slows things down and sets the tone.
Yeah, no, and I think that's what you guys have to do, what they have to do. And I love that Tay does that. And Tay's always been that type of player to just play calmly. I know you got to watch him play at the state championship. He will play calm and know how to play and settle down when he needs to.
What makes good leaders, and I think that's also, you talk about basketball IQ versus real life IQ. There's a reason why he's going to Harvard after this is all said and done.
Yes, sir. And in that moat, probably all will work for him one day, going to Harvard.
Inbounds underneath the basket, Elwin Wordlaw. Barber for 3, and it's in for Tay Barber. Tay Barber with his second tray. On the other side. Jumper, no. Fought for. Nice grab by Furman. Suburban Allstars cannot capitalize. District on the other end. Barber, he's hot. Ice in his veins. Tay Barber, back-to-back threes. He's got 11.
Love to see that. Tay Barber is someone that we expect that he's a high-flying shooter. He was a high-volume shooter in high school, so doesn't be surprised he was going to show that today.
Sakazi has been doing everything in the paint for the District All-Stars. On the other end, another three is buried by Tony Pope, and a timeout will be called by Byron Mouton to try and get his players settled down because it is raining three-pointers from our public school kids.
Yeah, no, that's deadly. Obviously, the three-point game is always deadly just in general, but that can always be a make-or-break game changer throughout a course of a game, especially an all-star game. It could go from being tight like it was, just like a 2-point lead or tied, to now it's like, 10 minutes, it's a 10-point lead within like 2 minutes. Kind of interesting how that went through. So I think we have a game on our hands. So the score, don't be fooled by the score. The game could change very quickly.
Well, Tay Barber with 11 points. We've had 3 straight three-pointers for the District All-Stars. Back-to-back for Tay Barber, and then Tony Pope right before Byron Mouton called a timeout for the Suburban team. We saw it get close. The Suburban All-Stars were able to take the lead. They were up 41-39. And then here come the District All-Stars just making it rain from distance.
Right. That's definitely interesting that that they just started just coming back. It just turned it on like an on and off switch almost with their three-point display. Hope it doesn't stay like that for the whole game. They just keep it on, but, you never know.
So we get another full lineup change for the Suburban All-Stars. Quinn Gorman, Jaden Harris, Gop Cody, Blake Harper, and Chris Johnson on the floor. Harris drives it strong and leaves it short, and a very late whistle. That's going to go against Tony Pope. It's Jaden Harris on the line.
Jadon Harris, St. Paul the Great. John Paul the Great, awesome, good point guard, good school, up-and-coming team. He left a great impression on the younger guys coming up as a leader. So I'm excited to see where he ends up. And also, actually, if I'm not mistaken,
Livingston College.
Yeah, he's going to Livingston, actually. No, I'm not excited to see where he ends up. He's going to Livingston. He's going to be a great addition to the CIAA. My apologies there. I was looking at 2 lists, but, Oh.
Three-pointer on the other end. And the streak comes to a close. Had a good run for the District All-Stars. Still hold a 9-point lead. 52-43, 4:13 to go in the third quarter. Quinn Gorman shows off the range. Big man from distance.
And that's more of a commonplace now. That's not an oddity anymore. It's not an odd place, so big three, good shot.
Quinn Gorman out of Flint Hill. DC Premier AAU, Tay Barber. Just testing a little bit, and the kick out gets thrown right to Gorman. Down the other end, Barber contested at the rim. I think he got a piece of that.
Possibly just a little piece.
Elwin Wardlaw up and under, and Godey too tall, too much to get past.
Uh-oh.
Swing, Gorman, and Barber able to compete for it down low.
Kind of rushed it a little bit. I can see they just slightly rushed it a little bit down there.
Dante Mayo, Scotty Hubbard, Thomas Farrell, and Nehemiah Johnson in for the District All-Stars. Tay Barber staying on the floor. Jadon Harris calls for the high screen. Godey sets. Jumper, good.
Yeah, the CIAA is going to love him at the tournament in Baltimore if he's shooting like that mid-range.
Jadon Harris, 4 points. Down to a 4-point game. And Harris grabbing the rebound. Flying everywhere here in the third quarter. Harris swing, nice pass. Gorman with some authority.
He finally got his dunk. He finally got his dunk that he's been looking for the whole first half. Now, hopefully, maybe he gets another one, but maybe he gets the win first.
Dante Mayo, and the pass is grabbed out of the air by Chris Johnson. Up the floor, and Jadon Harris ties this game again at 52. A surge for the Suburban All-Stars.
This game's getting a little bit closer. I kind of like that for an All-Star game.
And some cheers from the Suburban bench as a timeout is called by Dwayne Shackelford and the District All-Stars. And oh boy, have we seen a turn of events. We saw Byron Mouton call a timeout for the Suburban All-Stars when it began to get out of hand. And now all of a sudden, Dwayne Shackelford wants some time to settle his players down.
Yeah, I think that's what you have to do. You got to settle down, and it goes down to, like, have fun and compete, but don't overdo it. Don't overdo yourself right now. It's a tie game. Situationally, this game, you got one more quarter, so let's try to get into a good momentum going into the next quarter. But, you know, it's a stop, a bucket, stop, and a bucket. Get a good momentum, a good rhythm right now.
Well, we have the Capital Classic following this one, but we have a classic in our own hands here. We might have a similar situation as the last District Suburban All-Star game. Again, a buzzer beater, a 102-101 win for the district team. Devin Flowers getting the buzzer beater 3 to win it back in 2018 at Catholic University.
And I think that's what you want. I think that the area wants to see that, you know, a tight-knit game like this, and it's just going interesting like this, going down to the wire. Always good basketball for that.
Scott Cody with the nice save, chasing it down. Blake Harper catches up to it. Harper, nice pass inside. The block straight up. Nehemiah Johnson saying no thank you. In the hands of Farrell, his 3, short. Jadon Harris thought about the outlet pass. Looked to heave it. Back and forth with Cody. Harris forced back. Scotty Hubbard brought out to no man's land. Screen set. Johnson, 12 seconds. Harris out. Blake Harper for 3. No. Johnson with the board. From the elbow. That one is good. District All-Stars down by 2. Again, Suburban All-Stars in the lead.
Going down to the wire just like the last game. We'll see who comes out on top.
It's Chris Johnson with 6. On the other side, floater off the backboard, no. Put back, also no good. Harris, deep 3. Dante Mayo tracks down the rebound. Barber finds his spot and connects. Tay Barber. That's his 4th made 3-pointer. He's got 14 points. So Tay Barber putting on a show here. And if the District All-Stars come out on top, making a case for game MVP. Harris, Gorman gets caught in traffic, and I think he just lost it out of bounds.
Yeah, he did. He did. And, you know, it happens. It's going to get a little choppy and stuff. So, but it's an all-star game. We can still be a little loose, but great tie right now. Tie game right now. Almost good. Could be a tie game in the next 32 seconds. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking for it.
District All-Stars up 55 to 54, 32.7 seconds on the clock. Jadon Harris, quick inbound to Blake Harper. Back to Harris. 7 seconds to shoot. Harris with 5. Harris pulls up for 3. Cody, nice rebound. He gets blocked from behind. How did Scotty Hubbard just block up Cody? And Harris takes it behind the back. Grabs it on defense with the steal. Under 10 seconds to go in the third. Harper. Johnson. Behind the back. Johnson driving inside. Smooth. No good. Gorman trying to put it up and just denied at the rim. Suburban All-Stars had a chance to take the lead before the third quarter ended, but it's 55 to 54. District All-Stars in the lead. Tay Barber has been really showing it off. 3 made 3-pointers in that third quarter for the District All-Stars.
Yeah, no, Tay's showing what we all know. If you followed him during the whole like probably did this whole season, and I'm trying to get a little slow because I've known Tay for a little while. Tay has been playing well, and he's showing that, hey, I could be in this game too, and let me say, and I'm going to try to help the district team represent the public schools in the D.C. area to get this dub.
But on the other side, the Suburban All-Stars, they brought it close after halftime, and then slowly the District All-Stars pulled away and made the gap a lot greater, up by 9, and then Suburban brought it all the way back, and now it's a 1-point game. Suburban All-Stars were even in the lead at one point in the third quarter. So this game, it's really not over till that final buzzer sounds.
No, it's not. And you know, the old saying, it's not over till the fat lady sings. And that's what we're getting from this game. And that's all you can ask for is the spirit of the game. That's been the whole message this weekend is give everything you got, respect the game, and celebrate it. This is a sanctuary of DC basketball, of celebration of what we are as an area. Suburban district, doesn't matter. Play, and both teams are starting to live up to that. A little flat start for one team, but we got a great fourth quarter ahead of us that I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to overtime.
We might see OT, which would mess up the scheduling a little bit for the Capital Classic.
It would mess up the scheduling, big time.
Maybe a little less shoot-around time for our United States All-Stars versus our Capital All-Stars. But here we go, fourth quarter. District All-Stars lead the Suburban All-Stars 55-54 as Owen Wardlaw is fouled early. Will go on the floor against Hassan Dorman. You know, I was doing some digging for this game, doing my research. I found a Washington Post article from 1993, and it mentioned some of the coaches who were in attendance. And I'm gonna give some names for you.
Of course.
George Mason, new head coach Paul Westhead.
Yes.
You have George Washington's Mike Jarvis. And then get this, Cincinnati's Bob Huggins and UMass's John Calipari.
Wow, a lot of names. Two names that I closely are related to, being Paul Westhead. My father actually was his graduate manager when he first came to Fairfax, coming from Louisville Marymount. And then Bob Huggins is a coach that I worked for.
At West Virginia.
At West Virginia. So it's funny, and I know more Bob has a more affinity love for DC, and he has a big love for the DC area. He loves coming back. And then Paul had a good stint, had an okay stint at George Mason. I'm not going to say lovely, but it's interesting to see those names, and Calipari, of course, and what he's turned out to be since then. And then Mike Jarvis and how his career went. Very interesting names that were just affiliated with this game.
Oh, the putback for Tay Barber. Did you say he couldn't jump? Because Tay Barber just connected with the rim.
Yeah, and brand new relationship too.
You know, we saw Jordan Scott show off the hops in the state championship game, and now Tay Barber getting his lick in here in the District Suburban All-Star game.
Yeah, no, it's nice to see that he's doing that. Showed a little proud. I'm like, hey, yeah, I got a Patriot. I got a little umphin to me. Way to show it.
As Duda Traore misses the first free throw. Tay Barber, I didn't know he could jump like that.
I had a feeling he has little hops. He doesn't like to show it. That's not his role, I guess. That's the athletic slasher.
Traore cuts it back down to a one-possession game. It's 58-55. District still in the lead. Sakazi hesitates. Can't get around Tringoni, and it's out of bounds. Again, it's that stop defense. Once they're set, the Suburban All-Stars are really showing off the defensive prowess and the height advantage as well.
Yeah, and that's interesting because I thought they would make – I mean, they're getting better with their transition. I thought they were going to make more opportunities with transition defense and make those adjustments right there.
Tony Pope forces the jump ball. It'll stay with the Suburban All-Stars.
It's interesting that you brought up the scholarship game. Very interesting.
Yeah, it used to be called the scholarship game as there's a drive inside Mekhi Johnson. He's got 7. Used to be referred to as a scholarship game because this was a game where a lot of the more unsung prospects of the area would get those college offers. And we have a handful of guys who have already committed, but there's also a lot of undecideds up and down the board.
Yeah, no, and it's interesting that you say that. I hope they – I mean, I know we call it the preliminary game, But I like that title of the game because this gives an opportunity to show these guys. A lot of these guys in this game are undecided. So maybe that title might come back next year. I don't know. We'll see.
And we have guys who either haven't received a college offer yet or are still fielding offers. As we mentioned, Scotty Hubbard has some to his name, along with Hassan Dorman. So there's some guys who are committed, some guys who have offers, and some guys who are waiting for the right college to come calling. But also, there's some talent in this game. I mean, Owen Wardlaw going to Shepherd, the Frederick County Player of the Year. He dropped 45 times this season.
Sheesh. And he gets to stay right home in his backyard? Unfair.
The Montgomery County Player of the Year, Dante Mayo, who has almost 1,300 career points to his name and made over 100 threes this season, setting the county record.
Wow. Just hearing that stat, I'm just trying to react to it. 1,300 points. In 4 years, that's a lot. That's a lot. You're putting in a lot of work. You're putting in a lot of work for that. And wherever, wow, 1,300.
Well, one player who I don't think is active for this game, Tavares Riley out of Freedom, 1,734 career points, second most in Prince William County history, and the most since 1978.
Wow. That's a lot. And I got to talk to Tavares at practice. He just sounded so honored because Freedom, the last 4 years, Freedom High School, Freedom Woodbridge has gotten just only noticeable for football. And they're not known as a basketball school historically, but he had his moment. He had his shining moment, and he felt like this game was his shining moment. So it was awesome to see that, 1,700. He was leading scorer in Prince William County. I know that, and possibly Northern Virginia.
It's a 60-59 affair. District Allstars up by 1. Suburban Allstars still keeping it close. Has not been the game of runs that we saw in the first quarter and third quarter with 4:14 to go in the fourth. I mean, as you mentioned, we are on track for maybe an overtime game. And that would be a sight to see.
Now I feel like the teams are going to start playing. Oh,
Cody, my goodness.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Dorman lays it in. Suburban Allstars back in the lead.
Yeah, no, we're going to start playing a little more conservative now. That's what's going to happen with both teams. They're going to start playing a little more solid, and just because it's for the win with the last 3 minutes.
It's Cody with the rebound. Dorman over the top, and the jelly was left at the rim, but Cody there for the putback.
Now we're going to see the nitty-gritty. No more platoon subs, just getting everybody in. Now it's like, all right, we got to put the best that we feel the best lineup possible to secure the win for the team.
Tate Barber's three went in and out, and the Suburban Allstars cannot take advantage and make it a two-possession game. Chris Johnson's jumper, no good, and I think that's going to be an offensive foul called against Scotty Hubbard. You saw that left arm extend out and send Chris Johnson flying across the floor.
That's a great call, first of all, because it's the right call. But especially in this time right now, every possession matters.
Screen set by Cody. Pull up, off the heel, and contested board brought down by Tony Pope. Pope behind the back, dish inside, turn around, under the basket. Back down to Elwin Wardlaw. Barber, Hubbard will look to take it himself. Grabs his own rebound, and there's the putback to put it down to a 1-point game.
There's a slight travel. He got away with it, but I'm glad he finished the shot because it would have been awful if he didn't finish the shot.
Hubbard's got 9. It's 63-62 Suburban Allstars. Foul's going to be on Hassan Dorman.
Foul. Who was the foul?
Lucas Sakasi checks in.
Number 1.
Quinn Gorman is in for the Suburban Allstars, as well as Jackson Furman. Chris Johnson. Nice weave inside, high off the glass, and he's fouled. That's a late whistle. It's going to be against Scott Cody.
Now, this comes into a phrase
Or
that
pardon me, Tahir Webster.
Webster, ooh, yeah. Now, this comes to a phrase that you've heard me say, and for our viewers that don't know me too well, and our listeners are watching, I have a weird catchphrase that goes with, and especially in this time right now, minute 50 left, 1 point game, free throws win ball games. So we're going to see how this goes through this last minute 50.
Well, Johnson missed his first, and the second two, so still just a 1 point game. 63-62, Suburban Allstars on top for the moment. We've seen the District Allstars can score from anywhere. Down low, and one! Fantastic time for a big shot for Tahir Webster.
Yeah, that's a big shot, and big shots equal big plays, and we're at the free throw line, and I love it. I love it. Mr. Webster, good play. Smart basketball right there.
With a minute 34 to go, Tahir Webster at the line converts a three-point play. 2 point lead for the District Allstars. 7 points for Webster, a minute 30 on the nose. Furman favoring that right hand. Crosses back over to the right, to the corner. Dorman directing traffic, loses it. Able to recover with 9 seconds. All the way to the other side, contested three-pointer. Too strong for Quinn Gorman. On the other end, Furman breaks it up, and it's back in the hands of Chris Johnson. District All-Stars trying to push it too strong, and Johnson ties it back up at 65.
Oh, and we're tied with the last. Oh, man, we're going to see some defense right here.
8 points for the UMass Lowell commit. Barber for three. Too strong. Takazi with the board.
I'd get a good shot. You got clocks on your side right now.
Elwin Wardlaw slowing it down. 12 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Dwayne Shackelford not looking to call a timeout with 10. Wardlaw with 8. Wardlaw loses it. Barber with 5. Barber trapped in the corner. Defense stepping up for the Suburban Allstars, and Barber cannot get a shot off. A fantastic stand for the boys in blue.
That is wild, and Tay got caught in a phrase in the basketball world that we say is Coffin's corner. That is a worst place you want to be, especially in this time in this season right there, in that part of it. That is the worst place you want to be at this time of the game, and ooh, man, it's tough. It is tough with 11 seconds left.
Now with 11 and a half seconds on the clock, if you're head coach Byron Mouton, what is the play call here to get the win within just about a 10-second play?
Just a good layup. A good layup through the pat with the cut, good cut to the basket, or a good mid-range jumper. Nothing too crazy. You want to lay up, and hopefully they foul you, but based off how the fouls are going, it's pretty even. So you got to make the most conservative player. No one try to get that hero ball, try to get it three. No, just get the layup, get the win, and go home, celebrate. That's what you want to do. Or at least try to, and if I'm the district team, just try to get a stop, force it to overtime, and there we go.
I mean, if I'm the Suburban All-Stars, I'm looking at big Gop Cody in the middle. He's taller than everybody at 6'10". I would
just get a lob play.
Yeah, if I'm being honest.
I like a lob play too. I'd like to see that.
Or you find someone like Quinn Gorman. He's got some height. But man, if you wanted a good ending, I mean,
good pick and roll.
When this game first started, when the District All-Stars came out to such a strong lead, and then in the third quarter they pulled away again, I wouldn't believe you if you had told me that we were going to be in this spot. Inbounds, taking it down with 8. Chris Johnson with 6. Johnson for 3. No good. Rebound to Hubbard. It's out of bounds. Off of the District All-Stars. And Suburban is going to have another chance. This might be the lob play.
Suburban Allstars either wins.
Oh my gosh, yeah, this is with 1.3 is a oh man, this is tight. I want to see what Coach Mouton has in store for this try to close this game.
Hassan Dorman will inbound. Dorman gets it in. Three-pointer. It'll fall short. Chester leaves it on the front of the rim, and we will have bonus basketball in the District Suburban All-Star game. What a performance from both squads here in a very evenly played fourth quarter.
Wow. These guys, both teams, were not lying about what the game was going to be like. They said, we're going to be better. We're going to try to make sure this is the best game of the whole weekend. And unbelievable that we have it tied, going to 2-minute overtime. Wow, good play by Coach Bouton. I was expecting a little more elevator screen to get Malachi Chester more room to be more balanced, because the shot was a good shot. He just wasn't balanced enough to close it. So, wow. I love watching good basketball right now.
Well, I don't know how much better the Capital Classic could be than what we have in front of us right now. I mean, overtime, there's something so special about overtime games. Both teams have been playing hard. They've had their ups, their downs, and now here we go in our 2-minute first overtime period. It'll be Webster and Cody on the tip, and Cody's height gets the advantage, but it tips right to Tony Pope.
This is going to be interesting. This is now. Oh wow!
And Cody with another block.
Look at what he's getting into. Now it's about who wants it more. You got to put in your best lineups that you know after only 24 hours, just to see, like, all right, who can close this game now.
I mean, Cody's got 4 or 5 blocks to his name. Hubbard on the inbound. Gets it in to Lucas Sakazi. Sakazi, and he dribbled the ball right on the baseline and out of bounds.
Not the best way to start this overtime, but you only got 1:30 left. So hopefully you get on a run here and get a stop.
On the other end, it's Jadon Harris. Harris flips to Blake Harper. Harris looking for the entry pass to Gop Cody, not open. Tringoni, he finds a lane, turnaround, puts it up with the left, and he's fouled.
That's interesting. It's a good play by Trigoni. I mean, way to attack the basket, try to force the foul, try to get into a little more foul, try to get the guys more in foul trouble late in the game. And once again, free throws might win this ball game.
Was the PVAC Player of the Year and named the tournament MVP. As Sandy Springs Friends took it this year. Over 1,200 career points in high school and committed to Lander University and just made their way to the Division II Elite 8.
Yeah, go ahead, Lander. You know, a little upstate action, Greenwood, home of Chadwick Bozeman, that area. And, you know, so it's kind of nice to see that. I like that. He's going to play in the Peach Belt, great conference, and Lander's going to definitely love his play, his tenacity.
He went 2 for 2 from the line. The only points that divide these two teams right now. Hubbard. Back out to Tony Pope. Pope with 10 seconds at the timeline. Pope trying to take the ISO at 5. Pope puts it up, and then Tony Pope ties the game at 67.
Woo, Tony!
Pope now with 12. On the other end, Jadon Harris puts his finger up, silences the bench.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
A little bit of swag from Jadon Harris, 69-67. Suburban in the lead. Just about a second and a half between shot and game clock. Pope at the helm again with 10. Pope takes a screen. Cody switched up on him. Pope looking for room. Pope with 5. Pope off glass, and it rolls in. Timeout called by Byron Mouton. We've had theatrics at regulation end, overtime end, with 1.5 seconds to go. They're going to put 3.5 on the clock. Boy, they're making this interesting.
Wow. Like I said, these guys were not lying to me yesterday. They were going to make this a very competitive game. Shout out to these guys living up to the hype, saying, no, you're going to be, like, they were telling me, like, Isaac, you're going to love this game. And this game has gone down to the wire twice. Unbelievable. Proud of these guys showing the period of this game.
As Tony Pope, he is also making a case for MVP of this game. He's got 14, including the tying layup here in overtime, but 3.6 seconds will be put on the clock for the Suburban Allstars to try to get another shot off. I guess we go to 2 OT. I wasn't familiar with the overtime rules of this game because I didn't think this game was going to overtime.
No, I mean, you're not anticipating an All-Star game to go overtime, but you want an All-Star game to go to overtime. I mean, that's kind of the benefit of the doubt. I mean, that's why I wish the NBA kept the target score from the TBT just for their game, just for the situation.
Half-court heave over the backboard.
Wow.
Makai Chester couldn't get it to go, and we will get a second overtime period to decide this basketball game as you see the players and coaches for the Capital Classic waiting patiently or impatiently in the tunnel, wondering what the heck is going on this court.
I mean, you rather have a delay because of this than something else. This is amazing. This is great for the Classic. Double overtime just in the Suburban game? What can we only imagine? What's going to happen in the Capital game? What's going to happen in the main game? That's the only thing we can think about. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that because we already got double overtime with this game. Man, the main game's going to be very interesting, and all the audience that's watching this from home, you guys are in for a treat.
So the District All-Stars taking the floor. It's Tay Barber, Elwin Wardlaw, along with Scotty Hubbard, Tahir Webster, and Tony Pope. And Suburban All-Stars will break the huddle. It's Chris Johnson, Makai Johnson, Dauda Traore, Gop Cody, and Makai Chester. And Chris Johnson off of the opening tip. Chester for three, front of the rim. Pope with the board. Wardlaw in transition, gets bumped and can't put it in. Barber, the rebound through everybody, somehow gets it out to Scotty Hubbard, and it'll stay with the District All-Stars.
Woo, that was a very, very, very risky transition basketball right there from the District All-Stars. They're lucky that they get to retain the ball and probably settle down a little bit and just get a good shot to try to move on through this game.
Now I notice they're doing a running clock for the second overtime period to try and get this thing done. Pope for three, won't go. Rebound to Tahir Webster, he loses it. And Makai Chester will be called for the foul on the floor. Yeah, this clock is still running. We're under a minute. Wardlaw will inbound. Finds and a block again. Got Cody.
Oh, I think they called it. Did they call? Wow, they called a foul.
They called Gop Cody on the foul. Found Tahir Webster, and it looked like he had just an open path to the window, and all of a sudden the big right hand of Gop Cody came flying in, but not cleanly.
It looked clean from, I mean, obviously from our sideline, it looked clean, but wow. I mean, how much contact can you make in that point of the game?
Webster's first free throw, no good. And all met honorable mention out of St. Charles. 14.5 points and 7.7 boards for the 6'6" power forward. Him and St. Charles, the SMAC Conference champions this past year. And Webster cannot break the ice from the line. Quinn Gorman with the rebound. And no reason to rush for Jadon Harris. Suburban All-Stars with time and momentum on their side. Harris around. Chris Johnson behind the back. Johnson, and they're going to call a foul on the floor. So the referees are not keeping their whistles in their mouths for this overtime period.
No, they're not. Unfortunately, it does make the game longer, but you did have to call that foul there. That was clear. That was clear.
And now for good measure, a timeout for Byron Mouton and crew. Now we mentioned the DMV ties for our coaching staff here. Mouton, of course, played at University of Maryland, won that national championship in 2002. But for Dwayne Shackelford, we have some DMV linkage. So you have the Anacostia High School. So at USC, played on the same team as Nick Young, Swaggy P. who in 2007 was the first-round pick for
The Washington Wizards.
There you go.
I forgot to ask Coach Shackelford if when Nick got drafted, did he tell him like, hey, where to go? Or like mom and dad, hey, he's like, my mom and dad are out here, family's out here, we're gonna take care of you. You come get some mambo sauce, we're gonna take care of you for the few years that he was here. I wish I got the chance to ask him that because, maybe Nick Young might be able to make an appearance next time and come back home.
Well, my question for Dwayne Shackelford is, how fast did Nick Young demand the ball back as soon as he passed it at USC?
That's a good point. That USC year for Nick Young was like everyone knew he was going pro after his freshman year.
Harris will inbound, 1.1 seconds between shot clock and game clock. It's a fresh 30. Harris inbound immediately. It's off the hands of Chris Johnson, and Tay Barber controls it. Shot clock is turned off. Barber, Johnson following him stride for stride. And now Dwayne Shackelford for the District All-Stars will call a timeout. And this really shows the balance here. You talk about the public versus private mentality. Who has the better players? Well, right now, neither of them have the better players. They're both as good as each other. A real testament to the quality of basketball here in the Northern Virginia, D.C., Maryland area.
And I think that's what everyone just wanted to see, is that to show that quality, that all three of our areas are combined. We make what college basketball, what the NBA, we make what basketball's all about. I mean, it's a beautiful thing that we have here, and this double overtime, despite it's going longer, trying to delay the other game, which isn't a bad thing, is a testament to that, and it's beautiful to see that. I mean, this area has had so much impact on the game of basketball. I'm glad these players have kind of embraced that with this game.
Under 20 seconds to go in the second overtime period. Tied up at 69. It's Tony Pope with the ball. Pope. He's been tasked with the point guard duties for both overtime periods. Tied it up at the end of the first overtime out. Tay Barber for three. Good! Tay Barber wins it for the District All-Stars. 17 points for Barber, and the last three, the game winner for the Patriot products.
Wow, shout out to Nokesville, Virginia, Patriot Pioneers. Tay Barber, he showed out and showed what we're all missing. Love that shot. Awesome.
The confidence for Tay Barber, his fifth made three of the game, turns out to be the biggest one, as Barber brought everyone to their feet, everyone emphatically celebrating Tay Barber, and the District All-Stars will take this one. Final score 72-69, as we'll get the trophy presentation and the MVP presentation on the floor. And I believe our sideline reporter David Korn will be interviewing both the winning coach Dwayne Shackelford and our presumed to be MVP, Tay Barber. I mean, if someone's going to win it, it's got to be him. And Tay Barber does get that MVP. Had a fantastic game. 5 made three-pointers. Really showing off before he will trip it up to Massachusetts to continue his career in college at Harvard.
David Korn here with SASN TV, joined by MVP of the Capital Classic Preliminary All-Star Game, the District All-Stars, Tay Barber. Tay, what a great game today. How are you feeling going in?
I felt good going in, and I feel like I put a good product out there.
What a shot at the end. What was going through your head there when you sunk the go-ahead through with 3 seconds left?
Yeah, I just felt like if the ball got swung to me in my spot, I could hit it, and that's what I did.
Yeah, and going into the All-Star Game, what was sort of your preparation heading into sort of this showcase style event?
It wasn't really much preparation. It was just go out there, have fun, and do what I love to do.
How good did it feel to sort of win for the district team tonight?
No, it felt great, man. It felt great.
All right, appreciate the time taken. Good luck next year at Harvard. Have a good one.
Appreciate it. You too.
Taking the MVP award here in the preliminary district Suburban All-Star Game. Well-deserved for the first team All-Met selection out of Patriot High School. Wearing that number 14 in orange, and he has another trophy to add to the case. I mean, he took home District Player of the Year, Region 6B Player of the Year, first team All-State, the All-Met nod. I mean, everything was going for Tay Barber this season. Couldn't bring home that state championship, but got to VCU took Patriot there, and now here in the preliminary game, taking home MVP.
No, that's a great way to end your story here in the DMV and go play for Harvard, because at Harvard they don't play too many of the DMV guys, but it looks like we got Coach Shackelford here for with David. We're going to kick it back to David.
David Cord of SASN TV here, joined by the head coach from the winning District All-Star team. Coach, 2 overtimes. What was going through your head when, the score stayed tied?
Oh, man, I just told the kids, man, find a way to win. And that's what they did. It was an exciting game.
Yeah, and that was a tough shot to hit in the corner.
Man. Hey, look, that kid shoots that basketball. And I know if he got a chance to get an open look at it, he was going to knock it down.
What was it like working with him these past 2 days, getting ready for the event?
Oh, it's exciting, man. Great group of guys, man. They brought in soon. I don't know much of them, a lot of them, but they did whatever we asked them to do.
Hey, you knew enough to get the ball in his hands when it mattered most.
Oh, no, he shoots the basketball. You got to get the ball to the people that can shoot it.
Yeah, and last question here for me. What did it mean to sort of win it for the district team?
Say it one more time.
What did it mean to win it for the district team?
Oh, it was great, man. It was awesome because I played in this game on the district team, and to see these guys get that W for their capital class, that's for their legacy as well.
Awesome. I appreciate the time, Coach. Good luck. Thank you for the victory. Good luck going forward.
Thank you.
So Dwayne Shackelford giving us his time, as he mentioned, an alumni of this game, and his side gets the win. Final score, District All-Stars 72, Suburban Allstars 69. Tay Barber taking home the MVP. Plaudits and Isaac, final thoughts on what was a very competitive game at the end.
I thought they lived to the spirit of it, and that's something you want to see. I mean, this game could have gone 2-1 or 2. It could have got real ugly, or it could have gone decent. I'm glad that the Suburban All-Stars and the District All-Stars played their butts off and really gave, what could be coming up with the next game. Double overtime is hard to do in an All-Star game. That's hard. That means they were playing hard and they were competing.
Well, they took it the distance and gave us quite a show, and now signing off for SASN TV, Noah Schubert alongside Isaac Harris. This has been the Suburban District All-Stars preliminary game. Next up, it's the Capital Classic, the main event. The Capital All-Stars and the United States All-Stars back on SASN TV. David Korn will take my spot alongside Isaac Harris, and that should be a treat just as much as this one was. Thanks all for tuning in.
Thank you guys. I'll see you guys soon.
DMV Hoop Session, highlighting the best high school basketball in the DMV. Powered by the Scholar Athlete Sports Network, SASN.TV.